it burns. Sweat it out, wait my turn. Can you hear the drumming? There's a revolution coming. All this doubt is creeping in, inside out, shed my skin. Can you hear the drumming? There's a revolution coming. I've been waiting all my life to live when I've only been dreaming. Get love when I've only been stealing. Can't let time keep passing me by. Run down what I've always been chasing. Block out every fear I've been facing. All my wounds begin to howl. Wake me up, the time is now. Can you hear the drumming? There's a revolution.
Okay, guys. Well, welcome back. I'm glad to see everybody with us. We are on session 92. To a short recap of the very end of last game. You guys decided you were going to check out the Roman enclave of the city, and only to realize that it was essentially staged, and that there were hidden observers looking to see who came, and unfortunately you guys essentially provoked them unknowingly into revealing themselves, at least one of them, and to escape, Hatshepsut had to bite off her own arm. You have spent the remainder of that night and the next night have recovering. So this is the night after recovery night, so it has been one full 24-hour period plus a sundown, sunup cycle, or sunup, sundown, sorry, since you ran from the Roman enclave. You come to, in your small cellar where you have been renting. Everything is safe. You have not been disturbed. You begin to climb out of your crates, your coffins, put aside your night clothes, whatever it is that, however it is you prefer to sleep, and waiting for you is the archer ghoul that you brought with you to watch your day sleep. He obviously is waiting on you to wake up because he has something to say.
Is he staring at us while we sleep?
He's sitting in a chair. He's got his crossbow across his lap. And when you begin to stir, the crates begin to rattle, you guys are turning over, pulling yourself out, he jumps to his feet. And he waits to be acknowledged, probably by Hatshepsut, since that is his domitor.
Good evening. What's the matter?
Domina Hatshepsut, a man awaits you upstairs. He approached during the day bearing a seal and a message from Decius. What would you like me to do with him?
I will go up to meet him. You've done well. Thank you.
He looks absurdly pleased to be getting praise, as most schools do. And he backs away and resumes his guarding.
Well, you gotta give him a little positive reinforcement every now and then. So yeah, before I head up, I'll just look around to the rest of you. The rest of you want to hear this?
Of course.
Oh, it is from Decius. I presume it's important.
Am I quiet on the mic? Huh, hold on.
A little bit, yeah.
I can't move any physically closer to it because it's literally right next to my face.
Okay.
Is the is the cable fully in? Sorry, just curious.
Right. You wash your
Test?
bodies. Oh, that sounds really good. Yep.
That was better.
Right. So you wash yourselves up, put on fresh clothing or used clothing, whatever you prefer. Hatshepsut, you have to tie your arm back as your arm is beginning to regrow itself.
In Deadpool style.
So you have to hide it somehow with a cloak or something. And you head upstairs.
It's fine, I'll just pretend that, like, one half of me is a T-Rex.
I just still imagine that scene out of Deadpool where he has a little baby hand. Okay, so you guys head up there. There's a bunch of seedy, dirty people. You can hear the rain coming down. There's a distant rumble of thunder in the air. It's very, very dark. The only light is coming from a couple of oil lamps and the coals over the fireplace, which are slowly going cold. The place is actually very crowded because of the weather. Nobody wants to be soaking wet in the rain tonight. The archer ghoul points the man out. He's very travel worn and dirty. He's got dark curly hair, about a week of growth on his face for scruff of a beard and stuff. In the darkness, you can't really make out much more than that, except that he's dressed in very good traveling gear.
Alright, so he probably, unless they've been willing to spend an unusual amount on deception, he probably is a message from Decius and not like some sort of trap by the city people.
Well, as you approach,
So,
you notice he's has a piece of fruit and he's cutting pieces off of it with his knife and eating the fruit. He's got a hunk of bread casually stuffed into a bag on his belt. You can see he sometimes takes a bite out of it.
almost certainly mortal, or a ghoul, if not. But I'm going to lean towards mortal. So let's try to be discreet about this. Yeah, I'm going to head over. Good evening. I was told that you were wishing to speak to us.
He puts his knife away and puts everything away. Up close, you see that he has a leather breastplate, and it has over the heart. It has an impression of a sandal with wings on it, a winged sandal. He answers you in what language do you speak to him? First off,
Oh god, hold on, let me check which ones I have again real quick. Alright, I'm gonna go safe with the sort of italic based basically the cobbled together lingua franca Italian.
okay, so that mixture of dock worker, poor man, Latin, Italic, a few Greek phrases thrown in, which I guess is pretty much just enough to get by in the big
Yeah.
cities.
just to ensure that he, I'll be pretty sure he at least understands part of it.
All right. He taps the sign on his chest, and he says, he answers you in the same lingua franca. He says, "Greetings, I, Angelus Caesar, master of Mercury couriers. I take it I have found the friends of Decius."
I start to respond now in Latin, but then I actually think about it and some of the things we saw last night and think better of it. And simply nod yes.
Okay. Well, he continues in Greek, because his Greek is, it's not good. But it's easier for him to speak Greek than it is to continue in this pidgin language.
Okay, I believe I've got Greek so yeah, I can switch to that.
Yeah. He says, "So, Decius, Master Decius, paid me about a week ago to deliver this to you." He hands over a letter, and it has a ribbon. It's been sealed with Decius's stamp, and it has a token that you recognize as belonging to him. I rode hard over horseback 3 days. He paid me top dollar. I've spent 4 days and nights searching you out. Here you are. The message has been delivered."
Thank you. Will you be heading straight back, or?
"I will be leaving with the dawn light."
Alright, if you need out. Well, first of all, what are your fare rates?
Oh, well, it depends on the message and how heavy it is and how far away it is and how quick you need it done.
Understood. I may need to send a relatively brief reply, but we will see. I will seek you out if that is the case, and if I have not done so by dawn, then suffice to say that it was not needed.
Oh, well, my horse and gear is mostly stabled at, and he names a kind of a high-end place with its own guards. You in your city scouting, you recognize this place. It's fairly recognizable. It's still on the outskirts of the city. It's still outside the wall, but it's the difference between a 4-star hotel and a 0-star hotel where you're gonna get bed bugs.
Mm-hmm.
This place being, of course, the 0-star hotel. I will be headed there straight away as soon as I finish my fruit. You feel free to leave something there with them, and they will give it to me on the way out.
Thank you, and take care.
He says, "Oh, I shall. It's time for a bath, a shave, and sleep." He finishes his fruit, he gets up, bids you all a polite goodbye, and leaves. The message, when you open it up and read it, essentially says that Decius spoke with Valerionius. Decius, of course, is well versed in not writing stuff down where if it fell in the wrong hands, everyone would be like, "Oh my god, I didn't know this." It's like, "I spoke with the fat man of much gold who engaged us in, so on and so forth." Such flowery language. And the elder reports that you may find more information at the farm of the Cascada, approximately 8 hours travel by wagon from here, and there's very good directions written out. Alternatively, there is a property 8 hours from here as well called the Ludus Batatius. The farm of the Cascada has been taken over. Valeronis' family was forced out, and they are no longer there. He doesn't know what's going on. At the Ludus Batatius, the gladiator training school of Batius, they are still there. There have been a couple attempts to force them out, which they have been able to drive off.
Interesting.
So either place is about 8 hours from Capua. One is essentially straight north, or they're both in the same general direction. So it's just a matter of which one do you want to go to.
So there's someone in Ludus Batatius.
Yes,
They are occupying it.
yes, the Ludus is still in his hands, but the horse place has been
Taken
taken.
over. Yeah. So would it be worth perhaps then paying a visit to the Ludus Batatius first? Having a talk to them to see if they can provide us any information about those who attempted to attack the place.
A quick extra information, I believe, established this. You also get a token.
Yep,
that would
I told him
belong
that.
To Valerianus.
Yep.
Oh, you told. Sorry.
No, not that belongs to Valerianus. He's not giving you shit about that. You don't get his personal stuff. No, it belonged to Decius.
Okay. Well, let's hope that people will trust when they see that then.
We'll figure it out. Anyway,
We'd need to figure out how to let them know that we are there on essentially on behalf of Valeronius.
Let us go to the Ludus and make sure that the place is going to remain safe. There's nothing that can be done for the hospital in place now, but the Ludus, if it falls, it's going to not look well in your resume, so to speak.
Agreed.
I thought our plan was to stop whoever is attacking the Valerianus. So maybe it would also be good to go to the horse stables and investigate further about, well, the location.
We can do that after shoring up the defenses of the Ludus.
Indeed.
I agree. Plus, they might know something where to start at least.
Yeah, Ludus should be a normal start. And then we can take more risky approaches.
let us start going then.
So it is 8 hours by cart, horse, or on foot.
By cart and horse. If you go on foot, and now this is cart and horse in normal weather. It's very dark outside. This is a new moon phase, and it's raining quite heavily. So it's definitely going to take longer because it's going to be slower with no light, and of course being wet and muddy as it is, it's going to slow everything down.
Okay.
Low chance that we can get a cart any place.
We
Even
don't
lower
have
that
much
there would
money.
be something traveling.
Indeed. So then we have to decide if it's something we want to do tonight because we still have a bit to prepare, or perhaps arrange for it the next night or the night after.
If I understand it right, 8 hours would mean we need to stop between, like, in the middle of the road or something and take a rest and continue. I don't think we can do the whole travel in one night. That would be like, risking sunlight on us. Am I correct? Chris?
So you're going to do a trade-off here. If you go by cart, you can of course carry your shelter with you, and it's going to be slower because of the weather. But it's 8 hours by cart in normal weather. Going by foot's actually faster. Even in the rainy, muddy weather, you can probably get there in 6 to 7 hours. But of course, you can't carry your shelter
Exactly.
or a
Have to
bunch of
find-
extra supplies of any kind.
And-
One thing is that, do we know if there are like road by taverns or something?
There are not. There's nothing like. There are, of course, family farms and stuff like that.
Okay.
Of course, going up into the Ludi, it's the directions essentially tell you it's in the mountains. So you might be able to find some caves or something.
Yeah.
That's an
So
idea.
if we go on the foot, our options might be, if you need to stop at some point and take a rest before continuing on, our options might be finding a cave, finding one of these farms nearby the road, and maybe borrow their stables or something to just have a safe night. And or we could do a more forceful approach if you really wish to. And just kill the family and sleep in their houses, then leave. But I don't think
What's Carmen's
some of us would
humanity?
like that. No, that was out of character.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
No.
I was gonna say, I don't think that would be necessary.
So yeah, we could do that, or we could go get a cart, but we don't have money for cart, right? I mean, here's the thing.
You guys have
If we
about
want to
15
get in the-
silver.
Yeah, if we want to get in the city, first of all, we will spend rest of our money. That shit is, high price as fuck. Or I guess we could spend some of our money to get a cart. But I trust in our abilities to go on foot and find shelter on the road. A little bit of improvisation. Worst case,
Then
we could take 2 shovels with us and show as fast as we can.
So as you guys are kind of standing there chatting, the owner of the place comes by and he's like, "Hey, so I need the room. If your guys aren't going to order anything, you need to you need to go. Either back to the cellar or get out of here, because I need the space for paying customers."
well, I think that pretty much settles it. We're going by foot.
Be right back.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go on foot. Let's take 2 shovels.
That's assuming no werewolves are going to bite us as we go.
I mean, they can still bite us if we go with cart or horses. Werewolves are still fast as fuck. And they're also smart, so they can use traps as well beyond their speed. And they can also use ranged attacks as well, so yeah. Werewolves are a problem in any case.
Well, you guys can obtain a shovel either legally or illegally pretty easily. Couple of shovels, a pitchfork, whatever common implement you want. You don't even have to make a roll for that or nothing. You found them. They're not great, but this for not having a hardware store and a blacksmith to make you guys an amazing shovel, it'll serve the purpose.
Yeah. Preferably we won't have to use them at all.
Right. So you have very good directions. You have what you can carry on your back. Is the archer going with you? Or is he staying behind?
Well, didn't we just get kicked out?
No, he asked you to leave the floor, not to get the hell out and never come back.
Ah,
I believe that having someone behind would be for the best. It's always good to make sure that there's someone watching out for our stuff that we leave behind.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
All right. Just to clarify, he did not kick you out of his domicile. He basically said, if you're not going to eat at my table, you need to go back to your basement or go somewhere else. But
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I just presumed we were
Yeah.
already back in the basement.
Chris, with the vampire state and all this stuff, I was curious if we took a fast phase, would we get tired? Like, is exhaustion a thing?
Exertion actually is a thing, but not nearly as much as humans. Essentially, I would have you guys roll for a long-term hike like you're about to go on. I would basically have you roll a stamina plus fortitude plus athletics. And essentially this measures like wear and tear on how hard you're pushing yourself. So it's not so much that you get tired, but like you're forcing yourself to ignore the sharp stones cutting up your feet and stuff like that. So it might, take some of your blood to heal bashing damage.
Yeah, that makes sense. That
Uh,
sounds fair.
Given still so heavily injured, that might be a bad idea.
Speaking
I
of,
think-
how is the blood situation for everybody?
I think we
That's a good
hunted a
question.
lot last session. We hunted a lot, so
Yeah,
I'm fine at
You
least.
did towards the end, but I just double checking here.
I'm
Good.
at 11. I'm at the half still.
Actually low.
We are what?
Haship sits at about halfway. All right, so the question becomes: do you want to take a little time to go hunting, or
I'm at the half 11.
use animalism and call animals on your way as you're hiking away?
Yeah, a lot
That's
of
an option.
rats. A lot of rats, birds, rabbits. Although, remember, if you're doing on the way, and we will summon the animals, werewolves might. We don't know their powers, but
Stop asking about werewolves. Just stop it.
Okay.
Oof.
I'm just cutting that in now. No werewolves.
Are we still good to feed on animals, considering our age?
Yeah, it's actually a road issue for some of you. Nicodemus, I know you're good. I don't think Labiena can feed on animals. She's a humanity, I think 3, right?
3, yeah.
Yeah, your animals ain't gonna cut it for you. They might not even cut it for Hatshepsut or Albina.
Not potent enough?
Yeah, if you're below 3 on a road score, and in fact, if you're not on humanity, animals don't really do much for you. Or Road of the Beast,
didn't I?
some sort of Road of the Beast variant. Animals are fine, but
I didn't know that.
No, it's been a while since we talked about that stuff, but yeah, we established it a while ago. But I mean,
Well, thankfully, I don't need to feed anyway.
but we did a one-night skip, didn't we?
yeah, one night. So it'd be everyone's
Yeah.
down 1 from whatever we ended last game session with.
Right.
Well, 3
Um,
dots then.
And they
Right,
get a
so they
willpower
couldn't-
point back if needed.
Yeah. So they couldn't have hunted the other night.
We did.
Okay.
We did
so
hunting
you guys
before
are
we-
still low. Okay. You
Bef-
guys are still low despite that. Gotcha.
I
So I
feel
guess we can do some hunting now, and then, yeah. Well, we have to hunt now then.
So
yeah,
it's
and
Okay, Hatchet, you're breaking up kind of bad on your end.
oh no, I just kept stopping
Okay.
because of I to speak.
Never mind, sorry.
I was just going to say, Albina, Labiana, and Carmen is fine with blood, right? They are at fine stage at this moment.
Yeah, Albina is all fine.
Pretty
Okay.
much.
Headship suit cannot feed from animals.
Well, I'm not going to say cannot. I'm going to say she hasn't felt like she needed to for a long, long time.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. But Nicodemus
So,
can.
so if you feel like your character, I'm telling you guys as a storyteller, Hatchet can't feed on animals at the moment. That's out of character. Now she knows this, as in character she knows this, but they just don't do anything for her. Their blood is too thin.
Right. In this case, I suggest that Headship suit hunts while we're near humans. And maybe even Nicodemus can take the opportunity to hunt, but otherwise Nicodemus can hunt while we're on the road so that we can save some time, while Headship suit hunts now.
Yeah, we can help her.
I can share some of my blood with the ones that are low.
I'm sure you would like to do that.
Yes, I would.
Honestly, I think that given various factors in play here, it might actually be best to go for the cart.
Go for the...
Or
Cart.
hire a cart.
So we're stealing them.
How much does a cart cost
Um,
to borrow one?
if you're going to, you can hire somebody to drive it for you and rent one for significantly less than you can to buy one.
Yeah.
That'd be the
Right.
way to go.
And yeah, sounds good. I guess let's hire one if we have the money for it.
Okay,
I
so
suppose- I
here's what we're
suppose the
gonna
other
do.
question would be, do we know?
Here's what we're going to do. Nicodemus and Hatchet are going to make a hunting roll. One single hunting roll. While they're doing that, Albina, Labiana, and Carmen are, between the three of them, going to negotiate a driver and a cart. The going rate, they cannot afford the going rate. They have to negotiate some sort of discount. You guys have 15 silver of discretionary spending. Just spend it on whatever you want. That's not going to be enough. You have to negotiate to that point. That's your limit. So that's your challenge.
I guess only thing we can do is really give tips to Labiana before she negotiates. So, but Carmen doesn't have much to give tips.
Well, the only thing she might have which can give us a bit of an advantage is ore, maybe.
Also, one thing, using outright dominate is a risky move and it might be more problem than a fix. But using dominate subtly, such as getting a price from the guy, such as, I don't know, $5 or something like that, and then using dominate to instead get it for $4 might be a better use. So we can also do that. So if after negotiating a price, Maybe we can use Dominate to lower it by 1 stage below.
Well, I mean, we could always start by old-fashioned haggling first, and then if we still can't get it for the price that we need, you know, then perhaps other measures are necessary.
True. We can also, as Chris said, tell the guy that he can also take the help from our ghoul, which might make him lower the price as well.
Unfortunately, I will say this right now, Lubian doesn't have any commerce.
I don't either.
Although, to be
Neither do
fair,
I.
could probably
Actually, I have one. I have one commerce.
Well,
so that
this
could
is-
if you pick
actually
the right
afford
person-
to buy a dot of commerce.
If you pick the right trading company or farm, family farm, you might get lucky. We'll call it a 50-50 chance. How about that? So somebody tell me high or low.
Low.
Oh man, I hate high and low. Can't we do it like high, low, and medium?
Ah, she called it right. Okay. So, Hatshepsut and Nicodemus head out into the slums. Let's let Nicodemus make that roll, Hatshepsut, instead of you with your wound penalties.
Fair.
Yeah.
So you guys head out. There was a farm that you remember seeing just on the outskirts of the slums. A lot of refugees kind of stop by there, and they have some pretty big roadside market. And you think this place, might have somebody who speaks Latin. So pretty good chance of it. So you head out there, and you tell Hatshepsut and Nicodemus to meet you there when they're done hunting. There's a line of homeless people huddled under pathetic, threadbare tents. They are, struggling to stay out of the rain. The roadside shelter where they keep the watermelons and the potatoes and the leeks and all, the stuff they're selling to these travelers is in pretty good repair. They obviously make quite a bit of money. And there's a couple of farm hands guarding it to make sure none of the desperate people, make off with the food. They, of course, direct you up to the house if you have business to take care of. So you head on up the dirt road, which is pretty hard packed. So hard packed, even this rain isn't washing it out. You get up to the house, and the person that meets you, it actually does speak Latin. It's not great Latin, because he's never been formally educated in it, but it's, he kind of picked it up over the years, so he can negotiate. So you sit down. You are at a basically in the foyer. They don't allow you any deeper in the house. They bring a lantern in, and the patriarch, is you probably the patriarch of the family here, sits down with you, and he offers you some hot tea and says, it's kind of rude to talk to somebody with your mask on, so I'd like to see everybody's faces here.
Ooh. I'm wondering if an ore roll might be necessary here.
You guys are the social. You take the initiative.
I was gonna say, otherwise it might be wise for Lubian to step outside.
Yeah, if he knows
Tell the
Latin,
truth.
I
You're
think
hideously ugly.
Is there like a discount for looking hideously ugly, maybe?
Yeah, he doesn't want to see this type of hideously ugly, trust me.
Uh, think of it like this. Maybe the guy will feel pity at you and then will say, okay,
Well,
sure, I will make
there's more than that working. She's
Uh,
got that eerie presence thing going against her too.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that
You're
that
both
that
creepy and
too.
ugly. Wow.
Yeah.
Man. Don't bring
Maybe
kids
maybe she
near
could just
Laviana.
maybe she could just pretend she's terrified of people and just, you know, just go and make it and run outside.
Yeah, the guy is speaking Latin some way, so Albina can take care of this while we stay outside. I guess I can stay with you as well. I'm not the best looking character either.
So Abner's doing that talks inside.
Just don't kill them, Albina.
Uh, she approaches. She is going to approach the man and speak about the desire that they have to arrange to hire a carriage for the night.
so one of our carts then, and the horses, and a driver.
Correct? Yes.
Where are you going?
About 8 hours north to the. She's going to give the name of the Ludus.
Yes. Quite a successful place. That it's a fairly long journey. It's very dark and raining out. And, I have to watch out for my horses, and it's gonna slow us down. I see you brought. You guys dragged some crates all the way out here with you, huh? That's a lot of effort. So you want to bring those crates with you?
Yes.
Okay. So let's start. Let's say because my man's going to be unable to work, and we're going to have to rest up the horses, and of course, if they get injured, I need to be able to replace them. I need something to some surety that you will return to pay me if they get hurt. So let's have your man, stay here, and let's say 2 gold pieces.
How much silver is that?
A lot.
Too much.
2 gold pieces. You want that as a security. You want that as a security that we are going to pay back if we are to. Something had to happen to the cart or the horses. Perhaps we can provide some other form of security.
No. The man is the security. Your servant is the security. The money is to account for my lost production time.
Perhaps we can have a servant work for you while we are out with the carriage, the car.
Oh,
That should help to soften the blow on your production.
how much? How long are you planning to stay in Capua?
In Capua?
Yes. Obviously, you're not native here. You speak Latin quite fluently. I pegged you all for Latins, possibly Etruscans.
Yes. We are planning to stay for a few months. Maybe even go up to a year.
Well, how about this then? Your man provides me with 2 weeks of free labor. I will provide him with a place to sleep, food to eat, and that's it. He'll labor for me for 2 weeks, and that will offset the cost. Let's say, that and 10 silver. That should be plenty to provide for the costs associated.
A servant is quite a few steps above the average worker. If you wish to have him working for you for 2 weeks, I'm sure that you can come to a better price than 10 silver.
Well, if you think that he can earn 50 silver pieces here in 2 weeks, you're welcome to try it. Perhaps you might have better luck at the fighting pits.
She closes her eyes a bit as she feels temptation to lash out at the man, but she nods. Very well then. 10 silver and 2 weeks from a servant.
Deal. He strikes his hand out to seal the deal with the traditional gesture.
She performs the same gesture to him.
He spits on the palm, smacks it, and he's like, he obviously is startled by how freezing cold your skin, and he's like, Jesus, I didn't realize it was that cold outside. Oh, good luck for you. I got better tell my man to double protect the horses before he puts them up.
Make sure that there is plenty of, sheets and coverings for the men. After all, do not wish for them to freeze to death on the way now, do we?
Oh no, of course not. All right then. I'll have him get things ready and pull around. You'll be able to meet him out front at the stand by the road.
She gives a nod.
His name is Lucas.
Lucas,
Yes.
understood. Thank you for your business. She steps outside, having secured the transportation.
All right. With no mess ups, Nicodemus and Hatshepsut come up and see you guys at the group waiting on the cart to arrive. You are just in time to hear the approaching stomp, stomp, thump of horse hooves sucking up the muck as they're stepping, and the creaking and rattling of a cart. The rain is letting up. It's a light, misty, but kind of constant drizzle by now, instead of the heavy rain that it was. So it's getting better. It's still very, very dark. The man approaches. It's a cart that's big enough to fit the crates. It's being pulled by 2 horses. They're kind of sturdy, like farm ponies. You're not going to win a chariot race with these things. He's got a lantern on a long pole, and a big jar of oil for it sitting next to him. He is dressed well in fur and leather to protect himself. There's a crossbow as well on the seat next to him, and there are some extra hides, thick hides that are piled up on the back. He hops up, he nods at you guys. He just says, "I'm your ride."
Does he do a hand sign or something?
Nope.
As he says that.
Just comes up, clicks at the horses to stop. If tobacco was a thing, he'd have a big old chew of tobacco in his mouth, but it's not, so he doesn't.
There.
Up, lift yourself up into the cart.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Lobian will just offer a brief nod to the man.
I'll like try and get up, and I'll probably be the one taking the position in the cart closest to the horses, so that it blunts a bit of the influence on everyone else.
Yeah, there's no room beside him. Everyone has to ride in the back, sitting on top of your crates.
Oh yeah, but I mean like I mean I'll be like in that part of
Okay,
the
yeah.
back.
So you're basically sitting right behind the driver.
Right at the front. Yeah.
Yeah, right there. All right.
It's going to be a new.
Lubian will be kind of furthest to the back she can be.
So once you guys load up, he clicks at the horses, and they take off at a slow, plodding pace, nice and safe. Somebody, preferably somebody with high survival, give me an intelligence plus survival roll.
I can make that. I got decent survival. I trust in my skills. Let me roll it physically.
All right.
2 successes if that's diff 6.
All right. You estimate it's going to take, at the current pace, 8 hours. So that's going to leave you, at your current pace, 1 hour before sunup, once you reach your destination.
Okay.
Not too bad.
Not too bad, but
Yeah.
we will need to get shelter without problem delay, if that's the case. Like if a trouble happens with the Ludi or something like that, that might be an issue.
Should be able to find shelter within the Ludi itself.
All right. He successfully navigates. He seems to be pretty confident with where he's going. He's a quiet driver, doesn't talk much. The horses trust him. It doesn't get you guys stuck or anything. Slowly making progress up and down the hills. Obviously, he's having a little trouble staying awake, so he's taking all his concentration not to, fall asleep and fall off the cart. He's just kind of listening to you guys talk and driving along. It does. No interesting things happen. No animals jump out at you. This is as calm and placid a journey as you could possibly hope to ask for.
Are we the only one traveling on this road?
Currently, as in actively traveling, yes, but as you get out into the wilderness, you leave behind all the people who have basically camped for the night. It was very thick around Capua, but once you get out into the wilderness, there's no longer a line of people waiting.
Okay. Okay, that sounds good enough. I guess we will have to be just, chill and pay attention to our surrounding, our environment.
Well, right. Well, give me one moment.
Oh, excuse me.
I need to find the appropriate music, get it loaded up.
I will also say that I will sit in a way that my face is not facing the driver if he decides to turn towards us. So he won't see my face, he will see my back. And I think I'm considering activating my eyes, but I'm not sure if you want the red eyes glowing. Is it like a too bright kind of light?
No, he's not gonna be able to see that with your back to him. It's not like it. Right. It's not like a flashlight where it glows out.
Okay, so
it's more like a. Have you ever seen a firefly light up?
Kinda.
And you just kind of see a green dot in the darkness.
Yeah.
It's just a red glow in the darkness.
Okay. Then I guess I can turn my back to the rider and activate. I cannot pronounce that word. Open my red eyes to see in darkness without issue.
You do this, no problems.
Okay.
All right. You come up. You enter the mountains, the deep woods, trackless paths through it. You climb higher and higher. You begin to cross over wooden bridges, ravines, and eventually you come to a place where you hear noises beginning to come. The woods are beginning to thin out. And through the darkness in the trees, you can see some fires, like big bonfires. It's getting very late, or / early. Nicodemus, with your time sense, you realize the sun will rise in about an hour.
Okay, are we still away from the Ludi?
Yes. He looks back at you. The driver looks back at you, and he says, "We're coming up on the gate. It's going to take us. Once we pass the gate, it'll take us about another 45 minutes, or or an hour to get up to the top."
Guys, I feel like we are risking it if we take that. I feel like we should start finding a shelter right now.
It might be a good idea.
Got this far. There is only a few more steps before we are to the Ludus.
I guess the driver can increase the phase a little bit if that's possible. Just a little notch.
I guess I could step it up. The horses are a little bit tired, though, so...
Hey, you're the driver. Do what you think is the best option.
I would prefer not to. I don't think in this weather it's a good idea.
Okay. Well, Nicodemus, just let us know if you got like 5 minutes left. We are still not there.
Come on, roll 20. Show me the weather dice. All right. So, yeah, you guys approach it. The weather at worst has cleared up to a thick fog and a light drizzle, or very, very light, like a mist. At best, it's just foggy. The light from some big bonfires shines through.
Oh boy.
As you clear the woods and you reach a clearing, and there's a big sign. Yeah, so it's just very foggy with a very light mist. And you hear noises from this. Come on, roll 20. Why are you being so freaking nasty to me? There it goes. All right, can you see the 3D overlay here? You guys are way down here. There's a clearing, and there's a big sign that says in the italic dialect, and underneath it is in Latin. It says Ludus Batatius, welcome visitors. However, there is a wooden palisade and gate, and it is shut. And there is a force of men in front of the gate attempting to batter it down. Now, let me describe this. The landscape is situated such that you have to go through the gate. You cannot go around it. There's a ravine, big piles of rocks. You can't climb it. or if you could, it'd be very, very difficult. It's a very, actually, an extremely good defensive position. There's a force of men attempting to batter down. You can hear the pounding of something large and heavy is being rammed against this gate. There's 6 men in the classic Tetsuo pattern with the turtle pattern with the shields up over the heads. There's 4 men standing back with bow and arrow, and they're kind of sweeping the top, making sure that anybody behind the gate doesn't pop up with a big stone or bows and try to shoot down at their people. So if we scroll down here to underneath, these guys came prepared. There's some horses, a couple of carts. Like I said, there's some big bonfires here. And there is one man standing back. His demeanor, his clothing, everything says this man is in charge. Let me describe him.
Oh, that's some ripped dude.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, go make some 50 push-ups now, boys.
So he's dressed in very richly cut, functional attire. Appears to be thick wool. It has very expensive dyes. His neck has a golden circle, so like a circlet around it. What will eventually become a gorget. He's got some armor over top of the wool, and it's a unusual design. It's not Roman. His armor points to him being foreign, and there's like metal scaling across his chest. He has a giant like hammer pick sort of deal, like a war hammer hanging from his belt. And he is directing the men. Obviously, he's in charge, and he sees you approach. He looks over, sees you. As you do not appear hostile, he does not have his men turn to attack you. The driver stops a safe distance away, turns back to look at you guys. He says, well, what do you guys want to do?
And just to clarify, how long until sunrise?
About an hour.
Okay.
Okay, still about an hour. Okay.
Yeah. So in case we actually enter combat, it's definitely not going to be, too long time taking. But
Hopefully not.
you should stay. Don't get closer to them for the moment. Let's just talk for a moment.
Yes.
Well, this was expected, considering the letter. If only it wasn't tonight, that would be better.
Well, anyway, we have sworn to at least try and help protect Valeronius's assets. I believe we don't have a choice in the matter.
Here's the issue. That guy looks rich. He looks educated. He might know Latin. So maybe, Albina, you could use your charm on her or something, on him or something. Maybe we could do this diplomatically.
I'm not so sure if diplomacy is an option, considering that I imagine he's being paid quite a bit to do this. But I can try, I suppose.
Well, I wasn't. I was thinking more like he actually stops, maybe for 10 minutes or something. Maybe takes a break. Just if that's enough, if you convince him to do that, and maybe we can go to the other side, or I don't know. We can use that 10 minutes to prepare some plan. Or otherwise, and I will get really, really close to Albina to whisper to her ear without stable boy hearing us. Can you, I don't know, use your shadow powers maybe to scare them or kill them?
I do not think that would be a good idea, she says as she glances over at Nicodemus upon hearing his whisper. Let us try. If he is a vampire, then he's likely to. This is the opportunity for us to learn who is trying to mess with Babylonian stuff. Not at the same time, we cannot let him leave this place. Not after seeing us and perhaps reporting us to whoever is messing with Babylonians.
Yeah. Do you say that to us, right, Nicodemus? He's a vampire.
Yeah.
Did we get the description of the prince's sheriff? How he looks like? Does he look similar?
He
to
looks
him?
nothing like the prince's enforcer.
Okay. It's good to know.
Now this man is actually a little bit short. He is slightly below average height, and he's just very wide and very big. But you can tell it's all muscle. It's not like a bunch of fat.
Right. But he doesn't look like the sheriff's. Okay, that's a good thing at least. That's one thing, because if it was actually sheriff, then we would get the fuck out, I believe. Do you really suggest that?
Why not?
No, I'm totally fine with it. Hey, listen. He's one of us. Yeah, I don't think diplomacy is an option. It's a problem.
Well, I mean, if we set it up right, it could work.
That's
We
true.
can pretend to be tourists.
Yeah.
Find gladiator school.
Well, I mean, if we go with Nicodemus's idea of stabbing him, I don't know if this will work, but Labiana has intimations of mortality, and pretty certain Nicodemus has obfuscate.
Here's what I'm thinking. If you can use whatever that is on the guy, and Alpina can bring the shadow folk over the humans, Nicodemus could just get away from the car a little bit, away from the gate as well, and obfuscate as well, as an ambush. I don't really have much stealthy ways to really help, but I could just follow.
Yeah, well, for obvious reasons, we'd have to tell the driver to travel back down the road to out of sight to a safe distance to protect the horses.
What about headship? So do you get really, really away from the road for a moment, then summon those horses? I'm sure they will send some men after those horses. I don't think they will risk, letting their horses run away. But then again, they probably tied horses to trees, so I don't think that's going to be possible. That might actually be an extra reason for him to believe we are off, not normal.
Yeah,
All
you
I'm
can tell
saying
that
is we have to be.
he keeps looking over at you guys. If you have, it's close enough to dawn that it's starting to get light. It's actually what you would call false dawn. A lot of you guys haven't been out this late in a long, long time. You're beginning to even feel the drag of the sun. Like, you know it's getting late. As you're just kind of sitting there talking, it's like, oh man. Yeah, you look up and you're like, man, the sky's getting kind of light here, even through the fog, and the misty drizzle. And you are close enough that you can tell by his body language. He turns his torso to look at the battle, and then he turns his torso to face you guys, and he's looking at you, and then he turns his torso to look at the battle, and then he turns his torso to look around to see who all's approaching. So he has obviously seen you.
Yeah.
Is he in any way nervous that the dawn is approaching? And how is the progress of the battle coming up?
The gate has been pushed inward a little bit. It's been heavily damaged. You guys aren't battle-hardened experts, but you've seen a couple of battles. They have probably reinforced behind the gate with something, maybe some stones or something, and that's what's keeping them from breaking it down.
Listen.
Either way, we have to make a decision.
Yeah.
Like
Here's
now.
Here's what I think. The chances of doing this politically is very, very slim. We will need to be pretty good. I don't quite think that we might have the means, because even a tiny mistake will explode on us. So while we got the upper hand, I think we should attack them first, make the first strike. Between your shadows, between your weird powers, Labiana, and I guess between the normal violence we have between Hatshepsut and I, we might win this. Even if they have some buffed kindred, one of us there.
I agree.
So maybe you should do the debuff first, and then you should summon the smoke afterwards.
Well, I hate to say it, but I think the debuff, the pre-buff is all we can do. Remember, there are mortals present.
The +2 increase the difficulty thing. It's not like a visual magic or something, right? It just happens. Is there an actual visual magic happening? Like a ray of necromancy going from your hand to the target or something?
Well, obviously it's the passive ones. I'm saying that we are the only ones we can use.
Right. And
At
the
this
one
moment.
that increases the difficulty of a reaction by 2, that's that's not an active one, right? You just see a person and affect them.
Exactly, as long as I have line of sight.
Right, which you have. So I'm suggesting that you use that power, and in the meantime, Albina summons the shadow fog over the humans.
All right, you guys hear a whistle blow.
Yeah, do it. Come on.
The guy
Come
has
on, do
put a
it.
whistle in his mouth, and he has begun to blow it in a pattern, and the attack breaks off of the gate.
Well, I suppose now's the time.
Yeah, come on, get into action. I will. I guess I'm going to buff as we speak, and
We should.
I'm going to grow out my claws and buff my stats. I can't speak English today.
You're going to grow your clones besides the driver?
You can always erase the memories of the driver.
All right, I'm going to put you guys right about here. Okay, so we're back. So here's what happened. In a very, very short amount of time, what happened was the guy in red blew a whistle. Right? He blew a whistle set, a predefined set, and the attack broke off the gate, and they formed up facing you. The intent is obvious. They're either coming to talk, not likely, or they're coming to talk violently, which is probably the more likely scenario here. Your thought, which is probably accurate, is that they're coming to eliminate witnesses. You have to go with whatever plan you have at the moment. So you jump off the cart. Nicodemus obfuscates. There is a mist in the air, fog. It makes timing and aiming things quite difficult because you can't make out faces. You're going to have to get kind of close to make out a face well enough to do something that says target by sight. So you're not necessarily within immediate melee range, not like next to him, but close enough that the distance could be closed shortly. So
Yeah, one other question I have real quick is how many turns would it take for Labiena to be within 20 yards or meters of the vampire?
The way they have formed up now facing you, which you have hopped off the cart, and so there, again, there's, if you can run, let's say everyone can run 10 meters in a round. All right, so there are 40 meters separating you guys at the moment.
Okay. I assume while we are running, some of us might want to do some stuff like Albina summoning the Shadow Fog.
That's what I was trying to determine if.
Well,
in one
if
of
you
those
come running
4
after
rounds
at them, they're going to stay put.
Yeah. Preferably, we cast the shadow and we stay, because then they will have to come to us. We should also take cover if we are staying put.
There is no cover. You have to fade back into the woods.
Gotcha. I still have my shield.
My idea would be that I can create some illusions that there are more of us than not they actually seen, that we are surrounding them. And then we can try to bluff our way into having them throw down their weapons or something similar.
That's a smart idea, but I feel like it's not worth taking the risk. Because
The only problem is he watched you guys arrive, and then he watched you sit there for 10 minutes talking.
Yeah, and he looked around as well. So I think it's a good idea, but I don't think we should do it in this scenario. I think the shadow cloud will be better because it strips their stamina and suffocates them.
Well, you guys are out of time. What are you doing? Let's start with Hatchetsit. You are running at them, or are you hiding, or what are you doing?
Let's see. I'm going to start advancing, but I'm not dashing full speed ahead.
Okay, it's going to take you, at this pace, 6 rounds to get there.
Currently, I'm waiting to see what everyone else does.
All right.
Basically, so I'm going at half speed to make sure, I'm not rushing off while everyone else is staying back.
Yep. Okay. At the moment, the leader stays put. Albina Palace.
Albina is going to create the illusion of there being ashes forming on the walls, of there being movement behind the walls, as in people inside the Ludus have started taking notes of what is coming and are starting preparing themselves for a counter-attack.
Okay. That's a very good idea. Go ahead and spend your blood. I think you have to make a roll for it, right?
Yes, it is wits and occult, if I remember correctly, difficult 7. well with 5 successes with the obtainability specialization.
Outstanding. Amazing roll. Excellent. This guy signals in advance. They begin advancing. Labiana.
Well, first of all, I'm just confirming that she probably won't be able to run and shoot a bow and arrow at the same time.
You
Or will
can
that just
actually.
increase the difficulty. Or
Yeah,
will that
it will
just
just
increase the
yeah.
difficulty.
It basically will greatly increase the difficulty. It will be minus
Fog.
minus 2 dice plus 2 difficulty.
Plus the fog.
Yeah, plus fog. So, I think the bow and arrow has the range for it.
It's like 40 feet, I believe, if I recall correct.
Yeah, I need to.
40
Really?
feet, 6
Did I-
slash 60.
Did I note that on the character sheet? Hold on.
I actually might have done it with my Google. Let me check.
No, but it'll be in the book somewhere. Wait on.
Well, I've got it
Yeah,
on
I
a Word
did it with
document.
my bow. It's 60. I did it, wrote it on in my Google. It's 60.
All right, so you're a little bit out of range at the moment. So if
In
you
which
run for
case
2
she will
rounds,
start
you
the-
will be in range.
Alright, well, she'll start dashing forward.
Just don't get too far away from us.
Okay. Come on. Select. Thank you. All right.
So,
And again, this is just a visual representation. Don't do the math on that because it's not accurate.
Yeah.
Nicodemus.
oh, it was 120. Wait.
Going to advance in this direction. 1 square is 10 meters.
Again, don't do the math. It's going to take you 4 rounds if you do nothing but advance.
Okay. Going for that more like circling maneuver rather than a through,
Okay.
sticking to the obfuscation.
All right. So at this pace, it'll take you 6 to reach the head vampire.
Okay.
Archers turn and loose a volley at the shadows, and then re-knock and turn back.
Which shadows?
The ones that Albina created.
Albina's creation.
Oh, okay.
All right, Carmon.
I shall advance as well with my shield up.
Full speed?
Just as a protection. No, I will stay a little behind the country, a little behind, like 2 steps maybe.
Okay. So you're advancing at the same pace as Hatshepsut.
Yeah.
All right, Hat, you're up. Maintain.
I'm going to start going forward more quickly now.
All right. So 3 rounds. You have accelerated. It's now going to take, well, yeah.
Can be a little
I'm already
late
losing
with
track because I can't do that kind of math in my head.
I can keep track of it if you
We'll
want.
just say that I'm keeping pace with Lobiana for now.
There you go. Yeah, you're a step behind her. We'll say that. Albina, what you doing?
She's going to prepare to create some shadow tentacles around the archers as they are firing at the illusions.
Okay.
Try to
Here's the problem. You can barely make out their shapes in the fog and the rain. And you can only make out their shapes because they've got some big bonfires burning, casting just enough light along with the false dawn to even see that they're back there. So there's not really shadows at the moment.
Okay. In that case, instead, she's going to use the nocturne. Yeah, the nocturne to try to cover them with shadows.
Yeah, you can absolutely do that. Obtenebration, Nocturne.
Manipulation and occult difficult 7. Yes.
How much distance does each success have?
Each success is 10 meters, I believe.
Yes, roll Manipulation plus Occult with a difficulty of 7. Success results in a cloud of blackness 10 feet in diameter anywhere within 50 meters of the character, so you are not close enough.
Oh,
6 success.
let me see. Would she be
I
close
said,
enough?
said you were 40 meters away. You're not quite close enough to the archers, but you can get the soldiers.
She's going to get the soldiers then.
Okay.
Try to get the ones in the back first and have the cloud expand from the back towards the front.
Okay, go right on ahead. You can definitely roll that. Does
Yeah,
not
I
even
did.
cost a blood. So
Yes, I did. Got 6 success.
a huge cloud of blackness erupts behind them.
Badass. And I'm so envious of you.
Now I'm going to put this on the map instead of on the tokens.
Yeah, tokens will take a lot of time. It's like if you hold Alt, it's going to be circle.
Right. So I'm not terribly concerned with the shape at the moment. It explodes, huge cloud, completely blocks the archers from sight. The horses start panicking. You can hear the neighing and the crying and the whinnying as they sense the explosion of black stuff. Of course, you all lose sight of everything behind the cloud.
Does the cloud cover every foot soldier?
Well, they advance out of it.
Okay. Makes sense. But at least archers will have harder time.
Oh yeah, they're not going to be able to shoot through it. So, Labiana, if you take a dice penalty at the, you'll be able to, you'll be within the extreme range of shooting them with your bow.
Yeah, well, I think at this stage, she's first going to target I suppose, the leader of the soldiers.
All right, -2 dice, difficulty 10.
Oh boy. Alright, hold up.
And that's because he has a honking huge ass shield. They all have
That
tower
too.
shields.
Do they have a legionary soldier armor?
They're wearing armor of some kind.
Dex, archery, div 10. Can I spend a willpower on this one?
Yes, but literally just to ensure that it doesn't botch. At best,
But then,
yeah.
yeah, I was just gonna say, good point.
I
'cause
wouldn't.
Then, yeah, because you technically can't botch on a. Oh, wait, that's initiative. That's the wrong one.
Well, yeah, you're basically doing an extreme, like you're pulling your bow all the way back, tilted up high, trying to get the perfect angle or the most range. So you're like straining the bow as hard as it'll go back to get the maximum out of it.
And here we go.
Outstanding. As the leader's advancing, he's going to have to parry that incoming shield. You hear him go, incoming! Shields! Shields come up. What is his... I can actually have him make the roll since the character sheet decided it wanted to pop up. Shield parry, that's what I'm looking for.
Did you spend willpower?
Nope. And I don't think she did either.
No. Decided not to in the end.
Alright, yeah, his -2 dice penalty for his armor, which, by the way, remember, if you're wearing armor, you take that into account. Probably would have had more successes, but yeah, they lock up shields in the classic maneuver, and the arrow bounces off, shields come back down, they begin advancing.
I hate shields. They are so fucking useful.
Nicodemus, continuing your circuitous route.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So like that would be here.
Yeah, there-ish. You're out of the way of the action. That's what everybody knows. Carmen.
I shall advance.
Okay.
Pretty much be near headships.
Yeah, keeping pace with them.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't want to leave the pack.
All right, we're back to Hatshepsut. As they have been advancing and you have been advancing, you're closing the distance. You can be within striking distance at the end of this round if you want to take a multiple action.
I can wait them to come to hit you.
Yeah, either way, either you advance within striking range or they're advancing within striking range, up to Hat.
Oh, sorry, I got it. I'm good. So I can go forward to attack. Was that it?
Yes. You go forward, attack. Make your attack roll at -2 dice, +2 difficulty.
Is that from multiple opponents?
Yes. Yes. Well, multiple action.
No. In that case, I'm going to not go the full way.
Okay, so you go halfway then.
E.
Okay, you go halfway. Sit yourself. You are reserved a reaction, like a dodge or a block, at the appropriate multiple action penalty, but you don't have to take it now.
Okay.
I'm getting sweaty.
Albina.
Yeah, she's also going to start moving forward. Alongside, forming up alongside Hatshepsut and the other guy.
They're slightly ahead of you. You're going to be slightly behind them. So you're not going to be in attack range at the end of this round, but you'll be able to do it next one. Alright. These guys march up. As you guys closed half the distance, so do they. They go ahead and form the appropriate battle line. So he is crashing into Hatshepsut, and the rest of them are line for line against you guys. So, Labiena, Carmen, you are now facing multiple opponent penalties of 2 and 2. Hatshepsut, you're going one-on-one with this guy. He's boosting his dex this round by many.
The soldier?
Uh-huh.
Holy shit, he's a vampire as well?
Yeah, you guys, you only auspex the guy in charge. You didn't auspex everybody.
Shit. Does he look rich?
So
Or
he comes up.
educated?
He is wearing armor that is obviously not Roman. It is armor that's similar to the auxiliaries, but it's heavy. It's the heavy scaled all across his torso and to his knees. It's like little metal rings and leather flaps. Extremely heavy stuff. Class 4 armor. Tower shield, gladius. Bushy beard, helmet.
Damn, this guy is prepared. Reminds me.
Alright, I gotta adjust
I'm
his...
scared.
Come on. Alright, here he goes. Shield strike. Sword strike, -2 dice, +2 diff for a multiple action. Hatchetsit, are you ready? How are you going to react to this?
I'm going to attempt to dodge. I have to see him at the same -2 +2.
Yep, he's the same as you are. -2 +2. Plus armor penalty.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's 2 because it's a 10, but yeah.
Oh man, dude, there's 9, or sorry, more than 9 actually.
Alright, he hits you, but with no extra successes.
Fuck, this dude is a beast.
He is a beast.
He has celerity as well. Fuck! Guys! Guys! I'm getting stressed. Not cool, Chris. Not
Alright,
cool.
take 4 lethal, Hat.
Serpent this bitch.
I will take 1 lethal.
Yeah, so he comes charging up, and you see the rage in his eyes. Oh yeah, he needs to roll self-control.
He's the Brujah?
Oh yes.
Of course he is. I assume the other one is a Brujah as well. So many Brujahs in this city.
Self-control.
Well, they are a passionate lot.
Yeah. That's a fail.
Woo-hoo! He is so freaking excited at the fact that he just bashed forward and slammed his freaking blade into you that he is going into a battle frenzy.
Oh boy.
He will not
presume
stop
we-
fighting until either he is dead or every single person around him is dead.
Including his men?
Well, they know to back off.
Well, I was about to say,
So,
I presume we all
if he-
recognize
God,
this.
Off the fire again.
If he runs out of opponents, he will turn on his own men.
Okay.
What
Okay.
if, is it time for us to start backing off?
His men form up. They do not take action. They form up the line and get ready. Labiana.
Well, this kind of changes things.
Yeah, you hear the roar of unleashed animal, of battle frenzy, and your mind immediately flashes back to the last time you were in such a battle. And you recall the smoke of Carthage, the stench of burning bodies, and the feel of blood splashing, literally ankle and calf deep rivers of blood splashing. And you realize you may have just stepped in some major shit here.
And the Diabre. Don't forget the Diabre. You did as well.
Yeah,
And it
of
was on
course
a
that's-
Brujah as well. So, holy shit,
Indeed.
this is some deja vu. Or I don't think deja vu is the right word.
Well, obviously, you can just imagine kind of Labiena. Initially, her focus was solely on the soldiers that were coming at her. As soon as she hears that roar, she just stops and looks over and goes, "Okay,
No time to be
this
Come on.
changes things."
No, we are already. Arrow is loose. You gotta finish this through.
Well, initially she was going to save the initial sort of intimations of mortality for the other guy. Now she's like,
If he's in frenzy, this won't work.
It won't?
it won't work.
Fuck.
Okay. I was afraid of that.
Ah, that's an issue.
Well, I'm also... Would Labiena in that time have had a chance for her to put her bow and arrow away and grab out the gladius?
Yes.
Okay. I'm thinking her first thought would be to take a swing at him with her gladius, but specifically aim for his neck.
Okay.
Try and
Called
decapitate
shot
him.
to the head. You are on his shield side, so it's a passive penalty against you.
Okay.
So you're at a difficulty 8 to hit him. But he cannot, will not, because he doesn't have any multiple actions left. Again, he wasn't even using celerity except as his passive thing. So go ahead and roll at difficulty 8, but you get an extra dice for being on his flank.
An extra dice, did you say?
You get 1 extra dice. I'm not going to apply the multiple opponent penalty to you this round because you're not actively engaged with them.
Not yet, anyway. Okay. Now, knowing that it's such a difficult shot, I think I am going to use a willpower for this one.
Well, yes, use a willpower because it's called shot to the head, so that's already a plus. So it's just diff 10. That's the highest you can go. So yeah.
But at least he won't get the armor if you...
Well, he's got a helmet, so he gets 1 dice to soak, but yeah. But he doesn't
So
get
wait,
the
is
plus
this
4
the
dice to soak because that doesn't help the head. Only the helmet does.
Oh wait, is my roll diff 8 or diff 10?
Diff 10.
Yours
It
is
is
diff 10.
diff 10.
But you say to spend willpower at least.
Yeah.
Definitely need to spend more power
Definitely
then.
spend the willpower.
This one.
You got this.
Here's what we're going to do. At the end of this round, I'll give you guys the chance to retreat. So you guys all get around to do something. And then you all realize that you're up against not 1, but 2 vampires. And a squad of humans. And you might want to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
At 3 successes. Out fucking standing. Strength plus
2.
strength plus 2 plus 2 plus potence.
If you have it.
Potence.
Yep.
I have 1 dot. Okay.
Wow. Oof.
Okay, well, he gets to roll soak.
Yeah. Damn that damage.
Damn the ones.
Before I roll soak, is anybody else going to attack him? Carmen, are you attacking him this round?
I guess it's worth a shot. I mean,
All right. What are you
Do you want me
attacking
to
him
roll?
with?
my claws.
Alrighty. Dex Brawl. +1. Extra dice.
Okay. Give me a moment, please. Difficulty?
6. You're not on the shield side. Alright, since you didn't call a shot, strength +2/+2.
Yes.
One, two, three, 3. Alright. That's the claws. One, 2, 3. And for the sword strike, which was how many? 1, 2, 2. So yeah, claws is armor only. Sword strike, stamina plus armor. He soaked that. It just bounces off. Alrighty then. Nicodemus, you're up.
Archers are still nullified by the cloud of darkness, right?
Yeah, as
And
you're
the other
slowly
and the
circling.
head vampire is
You can see the archers haven't
Yeah.
moved.
what about the head vampire?
Yep, you still don't quite have sight of him.
Okay.
But everyone else seems to be
Yeah.
stick and put.
Okay, gonna continue with the plan for now.
Alright.
Just a question. Nicodemus had realized that this guy is a vampire too.
You hear it.
Well,
You
could he
definitely
be-
hear the roar and see the unearthly strength where he just brings that blade around in a flat arc and slams it into her ribs where her arm would normally have blocked it, and there's no arm to block it. And you see her body kind of fold as it literally like lifts her off her feet. He hits her so hard. He hit her with 8 strength. Lifts her up off her feet into the air, and she comes back down in clear pain, even through her skin of the adder. So yeah, this is clearly, like, that was no human strike. Alright, new round. The guy's boosted. He's going down. He's spending his... taking celerity off his dex boost, but he's taking extra actions with it. And he is attacking the person in front of him, which is Hatshepsut.
Alright, I'm ready in action to dodge.
He is in frenzy, so he has no wound penalties. And I didn't do a feat of strength roll last time, which I will this time.
Yeah. The last time was before frenzy, so it was fine.
He has no more discipline boost on that. Boom, boom. Oh shit!
No wound penalty.
No wound penalty. I had to take that off. Let me roll one more. All right, still 5 successes.
I forget, what's the penalty for a single extra action?
The first action is a -1 dice and +1 difficulty, and then the second one is -2 +2 and so on.
Gotcha. So. Oh, never mind. It's too late now. I was going to say I was spending a willpower, but it's too late now.
Oh, go for it. I'm okay with that. Mark willpower off. You got 3 successes. So he hits you for 1 extra. He is spending a blood for his potence this round. Sword damage.
Please not be high potence. Please not be high potence.
So 1 strength plus. Go with that. And what is his potence? I think his potence is 4, but let me double check. Yes, it is 4. 422, in case you guys are wondering.
422. His potence is 4?
Potent, celerity, presence.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
444. Oh, shit.
422.
That's a lot of potence.
Oh, sorry, yeah. 422.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so 9 lethal.
Holy shit.
Oh, just
so,
5 damage.
hold on. Let me check because,
Thinking we may have no choice but to retreat here.
oh, this is a big problem.
Why? Oh, because you got the aggravated damage beforehand?
Yep, and it rolls over.
So you're in torpor.
Well,
Shouldn't it be aggravated first?
all of, I'm not sure. All of my health levels are filled with aggravated.
With
Oh.
all of it with aggravated. Holy shit, what the fuck?
Didn't you heal one level last time?
I think that left me at what should I call it?
Should have been 3
yeah, that. Okay, I seem to have failed to mark that off, so I'll do that now. So I'm almost dead, but not quite.
So you fall. You are in torpor. You have blown straight past incapacitated all the way into torpor. As you guys see this vampire in frenzy, in a combat frenzy.
Oh, fuck.
The blade
Would any
literally
of us-
cuts her in half. The only thing holding Hatchet's together is her spinal column.
And you didn't do the feat of strength yet, actually.
I'm not even going to worry about it.
Yeah. No, yeah.
The only thing holding Hatchet together, literally, is her clothing, which is only a few shreds, and her spinal column.
Nice. Okay, this.
Would any of us have the opportunity to have enough time upon seeing this to sort of grab her and start running in the opposite direction?
Yes. Albina, Nicodemus, Labiana, you guys all go before the mortal soldiers. So all 3 of you have a chance to be like, we're getting the fuck out of here.
I'm now going to shadow fall, and she's going to try to make it into the Ludus.
Okay, they can't stop you. Albina is out of the combat. You have declared your action. You're out of combat. Nicodemus.
Nicodemus withdraws, but he's staying around to make sure. I mean, he backs off and withdraws, but he's keeping an eye to help his friends if they are unable to flee.
All right. Labiana. You are
Well-
grabbing Hatshepsut and running.
Yeah.
All right. How much blood do you have left in your blood pool?
I still have 21 left.
I would very highly advise activating your celerity and running as fast as you possibly can into the woods.
That
With
is probably a
Hatch's
good
body.
idea.
Yeah.
Trying to find the cart so she can put it straight into a fucking crate. To her crate.
All right, Carmen.
So I've got 2 celerity. I activate both.
Carmen, so they take off running, leaving you to face a group of mortal soldiers who are closing in on you rather quickly. I'm going to give you the opportunity to make a decision here. What are you doing? Because I'm going to skip the turn order and let you do this.
Okay. Can I run the fuck away?
Yes, they are going to. You turn to run. There's gonna be one strike at your back as you're running away.
Okay. Fair.
All right, they hit you for 3 lethal across your back as you take off running. So the sword slides. I don't know what armor you're wearing, anything like that. It slides from shoulder to waist, slicing your skin open in pain, even with your tough hide.
So I take 1 damage.
Yep. So you definitely feel like, oh shit, that hurts, as you guys take
Oh,
off.
fuck. That sucks. Fuck.
Right.
Okay.
Now the Brujah,
we need to regroup.
being in frenzy, takes off running after you guys.
Of course he does.
He is pursuing his running prey. Your chance, you have to lose him in the woods. You guys get a choice. You can roll wits or dex, and survival or athletics.
Dexterity survival I will roll.
So say that again.
So
I'm
your
going to
choice of wits or dex, and survival or athletics.
Dexterity survival.
So Carmen's rolling dex survival.
I'm gonna spend in willpower.
I was gonna say it doesn't really matter to me. Same dice pool.
Yep, and you can spend a willpower
except
as well.
for the dex, because
Yeah.
the dex is still buffed. So
Yes,
probably
it
dex
is.
then.
Does Nicodemus have to roll as well, or he can just hunker down
You
under
can just
obfuscate?
yeah, you can just hunker down. He cannot penetrate your obfuscate. He has no auspex.
Gonna stay someplace remotely to at least see what are they going to do.
Yeah, so as you guys are retreating, you hear
Is-
that whistle begin blowing behind you.
Is this going to be standard diff?
Yeah. He's rolling dex athletics.
Oh man, he's gonna have a huge die. Oh fuck! Jesus Christ!
Yeah, so Labiana, you're weighed down by the Hatshepsut's body, and you realize your only chance is to lure him into a trap. So you duck, you dive, you're ducking under the trees and branches, And you wind up by the cart. Slide underneath the horses. In a super action scene maneuver where you slide underneath in the mud, dragging Labiana's torpid body with you, and this frenzied Brujah comes running straight across, eyes focused, laser focused on you, running away with his prey. And he runs right under the horses. He doesn't give a shit. The horses naturally panic badly in your presence. So they rear up, legs, running, pumping, and they're going to smack the fuck out of him as he comes chasing you. Unfortunately, they're in traces, so it's not quite as easy as that, but... the second one gets him, though. Alright, now he's getting his ass trampled. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to make this determination that he suffers 1 bashing no matter what, plus he is prone on the ground. 1, 2, 3. A lot of 5s. Alright, well, I'm going to assume he can soak that. So he does take a bashing. But he's prone, and you're not. And he is trapped under the hooves of the horses. It's going to take him at least a full round to pull himself out from underneath these things as he's snarling and thrashing, and the horses are like bouncing up and down on him, panicking, pounding his body into the mud and the muck. So you have an opportunity here to kill him or severely hurt him. What is your choice? You got 1 chance. What are you doing?
Well, run. I mean, we're right near the horses. I can't really run. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. I mean, I'm pretty certain he's dropped his shield.
Oh, he's laying on top of it.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, he's prone.
So,
You are rolling damage. Okay? Your damage roll is
so just the damage roll.
Strength plus melee plus weapon plus strength. So strength times 2 plus your melee plus your weapon damage.
Wait a minute.
Plus 2 extra. What's your current strength?
Is this including the buff?
Yes.
5.
So your damage roll is 10. What's your melee?
I'm actually going to be able to set up the the roll on this.
Yeah.
Melee is 4,
4.
I think. Is it 3?
3.
Hang
13. So your damage roll is 16d10.
Let me have a look. It is 3, okay.
Yeah, 16d10.
16. Let me see if I've set this up correctly. Plus 5, plus weapons. Weapons 1, is it?
16d10. I did the math for you.
Oh, that's right. Let me just roll it like this. Come on, roll 20.
Wow, roll 20 just fucked you hard.
It usually does. Well, not usually, but yeah. Usually when it matters the most, it does.
Well, don't worry, because he just didn't soak any of that. So that puts him he just took 4 lethal. 1, 2, 3, 4. That puts him. That is enough to knock him out of frenzy, number 1. And it puts him into incapacitated. So you take your blade, and I would like you, Labiana, to describe how you thrust, or the sword strike, and what happens to him as you incapacitate this Brujah.
Okay. So, after she slides under the horses and notices the gangrel is hot on her heels, she turns back to witness one of the horses all of a sudden being spooked and trampling him, which causes him to fall to the ground on top of his shield. Once again, she pulls out her gladius, walks up to him, towers over him, and narrowing her eyes, she lifts the sword up, making sure that he sees it. And with a yell, swings it down and watches as it slices almost through him. About the best I can do.
The power of frenzy, the beast flees him for a moment, and in his eyes, you don't see a vampire at the moment. You see a scared kid who, in his first battle, peed his pants. And you standing over him, and you look, and you realize that this is a neonate. He should have. You have 100 years of experience on this guy. This is a kid who is in the wrong place at the wrong time. His hands kind of like flop a little bit weakly as he tries to grab his throat, and he can't bring his dead body to grab hold of the wound. The smell of vitae mixes with the fresh scent of rain and mud and the wet trees, leaves dripping. He looks up. You realize you've lost your mask in the chase. It's somewhere on the road behind you, if you had to guess. And you realize that he realizes his last sight on this earth is going to be your corpse visage, standing over top of him victorious. Do you finish him off, or do you just break off a piece of wood or something and prepare to leave him for the sun?
Ooh, I don't think Labian has ever done that before.
Might also be opportune to diabolize him.
Do it. Do it.
Oh, she would be so
Fate
tempted
is
to.
calling for it.
He can't stop
This is
himself.
the
The horses, by the way, are still spooked as fuck. The guy, the driver, is panicking. He was actually had fallen asleep in the couple of minutes it had been since he backed the cart up, and he's like, "What the fuck is going on here? By Jupiter's grace, by Hesta's guidance. What is wrong with you? What happened to your face? What's going on with this guy?" And he's like, the only reason he hasn't run off into the woods is his horses and cart.
Yeah.
And to dominate.
He's sworn to protect them. Pretty much.
So you have a chance to finish this guy off. How would you like to do it?
I am pretty sure Labiena probably wouldn't care at this point. I mean, I can only imagine with such a strong smell of vitae surrounding her right now, not just from the guy, but also from Hatshepsut. I'm thinking that, suppose we should call it a diablerie flaw.
Well,
Might be coming into play here.
might be if you diablerize him, there is a very good chance you will become addicted to the sensation.
Addiction is a disease.
I suppose my question is she actually getting a chance to
You can eat him.
resist?
If you want to leave it up to the dice, we will do. I don't have it written down. I seem to remember that the last chance you had, we talked about this last time. It was a dice penalty to resist diablerie at your next opportunity. Or either that, or it was a chance to have an addiction. So let's have you roll self-control at difficulty 7. If you fail or botch this roll, you will diablerize this guy right now.
Oh, here's the funny thing. She only has 1 dice left.
So I guess this is meant to happen. Maybe you might lose your humanity as well. So it's 2 birds with 1 stone.
Well, I mean, she's still got to lose 2 dots before she can switch over to another path.
Yeah.
Might not necessarily be a bad thing in that sense, but let's just see what happens. Making the roll now.
Orange.
Wait,
Nice.
hang on. It says I have 3. Oh wait, I'm thinking conscience. Duh.
Okay, so this is now a player choice. Labiena, as a character, resists the opportunity. But Labiena, as a character, can still make the conscious choice, I'm doing this.
Well, I suppose here's the other thing. She would no doubtedly understand the consequences if
Yes.
she did.
You don't have a teacher at the moment. You don't have a way out if this goes bad. And if the lust overtakes you, can you resist munching on Hatshepsut?
Exactly.
This is good. Let's go to some exotic one now.
I mean, with all the kids' hats diablerized by this point, it'd be like a turducken.
Also, if you consume headships, that now she lives with you forever. If you look at it.
So
Well, I mean, I suppose that's one way of getting Serpentis. I'm joking.
Blood sorcery.
No, but okay. Going forward. At this point, I presume she's also noticed that the gentleman in the cart is awake.
yes.
So, I mean,
Do what
can't
you feel.
deny that. I can't deny that her first thought would have been to just finish him off, but she might be considering what he might be seeing. So she probably thinks it's safer just to shove a stake in him and leave him out for the sun.
Okay. Yeah, you don't even have to make a roll for that. You grab the incapacitated Brujah, you pull him out from under the horses. You walk into the woods for a second and you find a branch on the ground, break it off, put it up against his chest. You look him dead straight in the eyes as you slowly sink it through the ribs and into his heart. And you can see the instant the stake paralyzes him as everything just locks into place.
That
also
was the
wondering
good
if it's
choice.
I'm also wondering if it's a good idea for Labiena to kind of retrace the steps and see if she can find her mask before going back to the cart.
Well, okay, so
The-
you have about 20 minutes now before sunrise, Labiena. Meanwhile, Carmen, at the moment that Hatchet stakes this guy, has found the cart as well, and sees the man sees the driver Lucas has basically in fear pulled the horse and cart away a little bit, but he doesn't have anywhere to go. He can't leave the horses. He's been, not only would he never do it anyways, he's been dominated into not running away. And he is very far away from home and very far away from help. So he is in a bad situation. Albina goes 2D. Her 3D form becomes dark black. A literal shadow of itself. And then lays down on the ground and begins to slide across the dirt. Underneath the attackers, underneath the archers, through the gate, and begins going up the path. It is going to take her about 20 minutes to get up the path, because she can go... She can't fly, but she can take shortcuts. So, Albina, after about 20 minutes, you would estimate before sunrise, you have reached the top.
What does she
what would you
see
like
when
to
she
do?
Yeah, what does she see when she reaches the top once she reaches inside the Ludus?
At the top, you see this. You see there are people awake, alert. They are hoping against hope that the people have managed to hold the gate. It is a very packed house. Slaves, gladiator. It is on top of the mountain. It is literally cut into the mountain. If you could see Capua, it would be an amazing view from here. Not quite bright enough for that.
And is there like
Excuse
a dark place that she can come out of shadow form?
There's a well, and there is a cellar, but the cellar is kind of trafficked.
And
You could, of course, emerge from the rocks. Or, there's plenty of places where nobody's looking.
she's going to go into one of those places and she's going to reform herself.
Okay? You do so. Nobody raises an alarm.
Imagine the amount of chaos that is around. People are not really paying attention to the identity of who is who.
Not at the moment. They would essentially, what they're expecting is a squad of soldiers or gladiators, one of the two, to come marching up the road. Not really paying attention to somebody like you at the moment.
She's going to look for someone that seems to be in charge.
Easy enough to find. The master of the house, it's obvious from his clothing, and he's in the best seat. And he has a cup of wine in front of him and a look of extreme worry on his face.
She's going to approach him, and she's going to try to change his memories.
Okay. I mean, there's a bunch of people around him, so...
Oh, she's not alone. She's not by himself.
No, he's got his family with him.
Damn. Are there some servants that are by themselves in that case?
You don't have enough time to search the house. It'd be significantly better to find shelter.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Is there something? Is there a place that needs to be mostly abandoned or mostly not used around the house?
There is a small quarry pit over in this direction where they have, carved out some stones and stuff. That would probably be your best chance to be undisturbed during the day.
Yeah, if there is such a place, then yeah, she's going to go there.
All right. You go down there. You clamber down. It's got a bunch of stagnant, nasty-ass rainwater in it. It's deep enough, and there's like algae and shit growing on the top, like pond scum, you know?
Yeah.
That you're pretty certain that you can jump in there and be undisturbed.
She's going to do so. She's not very concerned with the how unpleasant it is.
Yeah, so you jump in, and you sink, and you sink, and you sink, and eventually you do reach bottom. It doesn't feel terribly uncomfortable. It's not like, 100 feet deep or something like that. But you feel pretty confident it'll be safe enough for the day.
She's the day away.
And the last enough is Nicodemus.
What seems to be the situation with the troops? Are they withdrawing? Are they charging in?
They withdraw.
Okay, what does the head vampire seem to be doing? Is he just withdrawing, or is he...
He's blowing the whistle, and he waits until the last minute, about 20 minutes or so before sunrise, and they leave.
Is it like they leave entirely, or they seem to be like looking for the missing guy, or
Nope, they leave.
Okay, time to look for some shelter. I guess I've seen some rocky terrain right there, like some canyons and stuff. Would it be possible to find a hole right there?
Yeah, let's... I'll either give you a luck roll, or I'll give you a wits and survival roll to find a nice hole. Actually, you know what? Let's go with perception and survival.
Is this site based?
Yes, to spot. You're spotting, a perfect crack, or a protected, a deep crevasse or something.
Okay, perception, survival,
and Auspex helps.
Okay, so that's 63. Let's add a willpower because we don't want to burn alive.
Yep. It's difficulty 6. It is incredibly rocky, cracked terrain. All right, Nicodemus, you especially know. You just know that you have until the very last second. You search. You slip into a couple of little cracks and gullies. You follow them down, and you find a spot that used to be a animal den of some sort. Has been uninhabited for a while. Was probably hunted and killed for their pelts. And you look at the sun, and you can literally feel the sun coming up, and with the sun, literally the sunlight pulling at your heels, you duck into the cavern and cover yourself in the detritus inside and go to the day sleep.
Right.
And last but not least, Carmen and Labiena. It is going to be, hopefully, your driver. You guys essentially crawl into the crates and have to trust your driver to protect you. You don't have a choice unless Carmen sinks into
don't-
the earth.
Well,
Actually,
you
Carmen,
guys-
you do have to sink into the earth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So Carmen earth melds. He just needs to spend his blood for that.
I did.
Yep. Okay. Everybody take a deep breath. Inhale, relax. The combat's over. Hatchetsit, unfortunately, is in torpor.
I was gonna
That's
say,
the problem.
no, we'll see. I'm hoping Labiana had a chance to, sort of pack her into one of the crates.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. And maybe pile some of those
Guys.
sheets over the top.
Guys.
Everybody but Carmen.
Yeah.
And you wake. So, Labiana, you come. The sun dips below the horizon. Your eyes open. You are no longer dead. You are now undead. You have regained a willpower point. You have lost a blood point as you feel the hunger grow just a little bit closer.
Do I gain willpower as
Yeah.
well?
Everybody does, yes. You open the crate, and you clamber out and find yourself standing on the top of the mountain. Right about there.
Can you point it again?
Okay.
Right
so
about
he
there.
drove closer during the day.
Albina, you become aware that you are no longer dead. The black water around you it's no longer, you no longer have the sense that it is death. It is just water, and you realize you are awake and have been undisturbed all day. Nicodemus, in the rocky terrain far below the Ludi, you roll out of the detritus of bones and old fur and dirt, and realize you have been undisturbed as well. However, you are not behind the gate. You are in the rocky terrain. And Carmen, with the setting of the sun and you regaining awareness, you rise from the dirt. And the first thing you see is a scorched spot on the ground and a stake sticking out of the dirt.
Wait. There is actually, if there is danger in the vampire's proximity while she sleeps, the player
You had no
rolls a
danger.
road rating.
You had no danger.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It is where the Brujah met the sun.
Yeah.
You come up, you come aware, you step out of the clearing where you had sunk in, and you see the outline, ash, scorched grass, and a wooden stick partway out of the dirt, scorched by supernatural fire. The Brujah is no more.
Okay. Well, I immediately look around my surrounding just to see if anyone is waiting to ambush me.
You're fine,
Okay. Okay.
but not for long. You and Nicodemus both know that there is a 100% chance the vampire and his soldiers are coming back.
Yeah.
You don't know when, but you know they're coming.
Okay. A quick question. Is is this the vaulting they made? Is it climbable?
No,
Can you climb on it?
no.
No. Okay. Even with my claws, I cannot.
Oh, with your claws, sure.
Okay, because I was considering to extend my claws and climb and get to the other side immediately.
Wouldn't that damage the barricade?
Yeah.
I mean, how much damage would that do?
Well, it's not terribly bad, but it's more that, if there's people behind it, watching it and defending it from attackers, and somebody comes up with claws and begins scaling the gate, what do you think's going to happen?
Yeah, true. Well, I guess in that case, I can climb and just extend my head before I go to the other side. And if there are people, I will just grab the ledge, but unextend my claws, I guess, before I grab it.
All right. Nicodemus, I'm going to give you an opportunity to see this happen. What would you like to do? You have become aware. You're down in the gully. You roll out. What are you doing?
Nicodemus' most pressing concern becomes feeding himself, as his blood reserves have dropped dangerously low again. So he's going to scrounge up and see if he can find any kind of animals that are unfortunate enough to be within his arm's reach. Bats, rats, whatever that is slow enough to, not fast enough to run from him.
Okay, give me a wits and survival roll. This is hunting in the wild. If you get 3 successes, you get enough animals to restore a blood point. If you get 4, you restore 2.
That's very doubtful. Not sure. What's the difficulty again? 6?
Yes, standard 6.
I'm gonna burn a willpower on that.
Okay.
Oh,
3.
that's actually 3 successes.
You find a couple of birds that have nested down, and between them and the little rats and stuff that are right there, you grab them and you just bite into them and suck out the little meager bits of blood and stuff that they have in them. It's not much, but it's enough to restore what you lost during the day.
So that's one point, right?
Yes.
Okay. That's enough to stave off the corrupting consequences. So Nicodemus crawls out of the intricate rocky terrain, climbs up to the surface, gets out on the even ground, and takes a moment to survey the situation. See if the vampire's back, what's the status on the palisade, and if there's any commotion inside the school. Ludus, rather.
All right. You come back to the road, and you see Carmen approaching the gate. The gate is damaged. It's damaged. It was never this wasn't like a city, expensive gate. This was, obviously something thrown together to stop random incursions and lazy people, not dedicated military effort to get in. And the gate is blocked from behind by some stone and stuff, just to keep it from opening real easy. And there's at least 2 people behind it. You can see a fire because of the direction you're approaching from. You can't get there, but you can see it. You have a line of sight. there's two people behind it, watching, in case, if/when the attackers come back.
Can I ask something?
Sure.
Can I speak in Italian and say that I am, like I'm coming, I'm, backup, or not backup is not the correct word. I'm, what's the word for it, People that comes to help.
Just say you're a friend.
Reinforcement?
Assistance?
Reinforcement, yeah. Like reinforcement from Rome.
Yeah, you can do that. Do you speak Italian? I didn't think Carmen spoke Italian. I thought he spoke.
You tell me.
His
You tell
native is a Gallic dialect, and
On his,
he speaks Latin.
he speaks?
Decius speaks Latin and Gallic.
Okay. Yeah, no, if he doesn't speak Italian, he doesn't. I have no idea, so you decide.
You could shout it out in Latin. That would be more convincing.
Yeah, no, I will. Yeah, I will do it in Latin if you allow me. If he can
Yeah.
speak it.
Yes, he can definitely speak Latin.
Okay.
They look between the gaps and stuff. You see a face peek up over the gate, and they're like, "What's your name?" They in bad Latin.
Yeah. Carmen. Decius is my patron. Maybe they heard Decius. I don't think so. But well,
The two of them pop up and they say, the master said to let you in, but you have to be tied up.
Fine.
All right. You hear the sound of rocks being moved and stuff like that. Nicodemus, you come up right to the gate at this point as well.
Can I squeeze in while they accept him?
Yeah, you can shout the same
Right.
thing as well.
Well, I was more inclined towards
Obfuscating?
slithering through by obfuscate.
Oh yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean,
Yep.
if there's a wide enough entrance to not steer
yeah.
shit.
Yes, there is. They don't know obfuscate. You hear a bunch of stones being moved, rocks. You hear the clattering of rocks and stuff, and then the gates are pulled open, and the guys come out and they're like, "All right, we're gonna tie you up now," and they tie your arms behind your back, and then they tie your arms to your waist, so you can't like swing your arms underneath your feet or some shit like that, right?
Is this because you think I might attack you or what?
It's the master's orders.
Okay.
All right. So now all four of you are back on the hill, eventually to be reunited. We're going to swing back to Rome for a moment. Decius has not been idle in the last week. Decius, you have been trying to get an audience with the Praetor Urbanus, more colloquially known as the sheriff today. And you have something of a momentous nature has happened to you, which you need to be aware of.
Sorry, what happened to me?
So, one of your servants tonight comes into your house and bows down to speak to you. He says, Master, something has happened at the Mortal Senate today. Marcus of the Senatus Principus has proposed a law that all wealthy men of Rome must come to the Senate at noon and pledge allegiance to the cause of Rome.
I see. Are there any known departures after this announcement?
It was just announced today. Your men and spies have not returned to talk about what's going on at the gates.
Okay. Out of character, quickly. Does this? I don't think this. Well, does this include me? Do I have
Yes.
to go? No? Okay.
This includes you, and remember, this is the guy whom you stole all those papers from and tried to dominate.
Okay. So we are summoned to there
At noon.
at noon.
High
okay.
noon.
High
Yes,
noon
that
is
midday.
midday. Okay,
Yeah.
well, that's an issue.
Yeah, not midnight.
Well, is there? Fuck. Is there a way to cover this if I like use my allies or something? Just like pledge my alliance in some fashion.
That's a good question.
With the help of my influence and allies to just like don't be there at the day, or at least do it at night.
Well, the summons is high noon. It said, Master, there was something else. It said, in lieu of appearing in public, every man of wealth and status is allowed to, as a show of piety and of loyalty, to donate 1/2 of their wealth to the Roman treasury.
Oof. Like permanently?
Yeah.
What the fuck? This is harsh.
Yeah,
Okay,
there are ways out of this, but I'm leaving it up to you to figure out how.
Okay. So, this is the Mortal Senate, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and I'm considered a member of the Senate then, as I guess.
No, they said men of wealth and status. Essentially, this is a way to make anybody moving a lot of money in Rome show up and pledge on their honor, or show by action.
Right. Is it tomorrow this has to happen?
It hasn't been voted on yet.
It hasn't been voted on yet. Fuck. Okay. Here's a question. Can I try to have a meeting with my mentor as fast as possible? Maybe he can tell me something smart, because I'm considering several options here now. One option is they are calling me because I have money. So if I can show that in some way I don't have money artificially,
Yeah.
that will stop it. That's one way to do that, but I don't
Well-
really know.
You send an emergency letter to your mentor, and your mentor responds, "Yes, come see me now."
Okay, I shall do that. We'll take my traveling group and immediately go there.
Okay, roll me a D100, please.
Okay.
Did you get under a 25?
I get 47.
Okay, you're good to go. All right, you show up at your mentor's place. He talks to you. You explain the situation to him,
Yeah.
and he says, "Just pay a bribe."
I'm like, yeah, I guess sometimes the answers to complex problems are very simple.
Just bribe your way out of it. Just
Yeah, I will take you out of character. Thank you. I will pay a bribe. I will pay a bribe high enough that it will get me out of this trouble.
all right. So you need to pay it to the man who proposed it. That's how you get out of this.
Okay, I'm fine with that. Yeah, I pay the bribe to him then.
All right. Well, so you are going to go do this then.
Yes.
Okay. You personally, just
I mean, would it be wise to do it personally?
I can't answer that. I'm asking you. You personally.
What does my mentor think?
Your mentor's leaving that up to you to answer. You are
Okay.
a highly experienced young venture with status and money and
Sure.
power.
True. No, yeah, you're correct. I am high status of power and such. So, I will send my my ghoul, particularly my Appius. I will send Appius Vorenius because he takes care of my money. So I'm sure that he will be more acknowledged than my bodyguards. And I will give a token to represent me to him, and I will tell him that he shall be bribing this person
Okay.
under my name, representing
Right.
me.
He doesn't return until close to dawn. And when he does, he staggers into your house. He's been attacked, badly attacked. They cut his dick off. And they cut his fingers off. And he has several broken bones. And he's lucky that he's not dead. They cut him in such a way that if he bled out, he bled out, but it wasn't designed to kill him by bleeding him out. So he has been badly hurt. He needs a doctor right now.
Okay.
If you expect him to live.
No, I shall immediately tell my ghouls to fetch a good doctor as fast as possible.
All right. All of this is going to cost you a point of resources.
That's fine.
Yep, which will not return until the war is finished.
That's fair. Can I ask if it was Romans or someone else attacking him? Was it the people I sent him to attacked him?
He is too wounded and hurt right now to give you the story.
Understandable.
And that is going to have to wait until next game. But your men run out and run across the city, fetch a doctor. Of course, as I have said many times, and Nicodemus can tell you, doctors are very rare. They're very expensive. Sure. And you have to pay an exorbitant amount of money to get their attention. The vast majority of people basically use household cures and, witches' potions and things like that, which are pretty ineffective. So, yeah, to get a doctor, you have to pay a lot of money. And in fact, they grab Gregorius.
Okay.
However, he does insist on his fee. Because his fee then goes back into the hospital and the temples.
Okay.
Gregorius is a incredibly skilled surgeon. Manages to sew up his wounds and poultice them up. He is disturbed by the level of savagery. So your man is going to be recovering for a while.
Okay.
And while you're waiting on that, you have been trying to get a hold of Ainana, the Praetor Urbanus, and you finally hear that Ainana is going to be holding a trial of a collaborator, someone is suspected to be a collaborator. These trials rarely end well for the person accused.
Understandable.
It is going to be at the bathhouse.
Okay. I guess I will be there.
Okay.
while
You
it
travel to the
happens
bathhouse. The
Too much stress.
over here in the gymnasium / gladiator arena, there is a crowd of elders, and they look excited. A small pit has been dug in the arena, and Ainana is standing over top of the pit, and there inside the pit is a scared-looking neonate. And you arrive in time to hear them doing the announcements. Young Cainite, you have been accused of aiding and abetting the insurrection and helping Critias with his rebellion against the lawful rule of the first citizen of Rome. We have heard that you deny all involvement in this, and you claim that you have been framed. We shall let the gods decide this. And then men come in from the private rooms back here, and they throw into the pit starving wolves. 4 of them. And they say, and she says, if you emerge alive and the wolves do not, the gods have spoken that you have told the truth. And it gets very bloody, very savage, very quickly, as the elders gather around, cheer, laugh, make bets. In general, just fangs descend, fascinated by the process. The 3 sinners that are not the prince are there, watching, just as entertained. So you get a chance to sidle up to Ainana as they are, as they're enjoying this, and they're shouting advice at this guy. No, don't do that. Don't let the wolf get your arm like that. No! Oh, look out behind you. Oh, it's gonna get you. And the guy's like trying to look in 3 directions at once, and yeah, he's not having a good time.
Yeah, I will respectfully approach to the sheriff while this is going on and excuse for ask for a moment with her.
And she looks at you and she's like, yes, young Ventru.
I have news about the rebellion. Particularly, I know one kindred who is part of the kindred side of the rebellion, and I'm here to announce her name. Her name is Agatha Ira, the Brujah from the Capua, who has been exiled by the prince not so long ago. She revealed herself after an attempt to capture one of my allies. Failed to do so, but in any case, she revealed herself. And thus, we know that she is alive and is against Rome and Eternal Senate.
Agatha Ira, I believe she's already banished on pain of death.
Yes, but she seems that she personally come to Rome to kidnap one of our coterie members. Well, actually, she kidnapped several kindreds among our coterie member.
Well, I see no need for any more proof than that. I will give word to the princeps for his final judgment. But if I will make sure that my legates know that if she shows her face, she is to be destroyed immediately. Now, you said she's from Capua. Do you know where she's been?
Sorry, out of character, can you further explain what you mean with that question, Chris?
Where has she been? Did she return to Capua? Has she been there for?
Oh, okay. How long ago did they kidnap Hatshepsut?
Like 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
Okay.
About 4 weeks.
May I get a little closer?
Yes, go on.
Okay. 3 weeks ago, they've kidnapped Hatshepsut, and a night later or two later, we recovered her. Since then, we never had an interaction, direct or indirect, with her. However, my coterie is in Capua right now, and we are hoping that our arrival to her city will draw her back to Capua. But we do not know if she is still here or returned to Capua in these 3 weeks. However, we suspect that she will have to return, considering her assets might be in danger. Hello?
Well, so we don't know where she's been. She could have been hiding in Rome for all anybody knows. Don't know where she's at, but she might be outside amongst the refugees and the scum.
Probably.
I see them. Well, that changes nothing. Be on your toes. She might be coming after you.
I shall. If she reveals herself to our coterie, do we have the permission to kill her, or should we stake her and bring her to you or to the prince?
Oh, no, by all means kill her. But, if you get the opportunity to do it right in front of the prince, so much the better.
Of course. Well, thank you for giving some of your time to me. Have a good night.
And she turns around to look just as the wolf jumps up and rips out the guy's throat as another one hits his hamstrings. And the Canite goes down, and the wolves just like dogpile him and start tearing chunks of his flesh off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will just give a quick glance at the site as well, and just take a moment to admire it and then move on.
All right. Back in Capua, Nicodemus, you dash up the path, and you see Labiana trying to get her bearings. She's kind of thinking a little bit. And you also see Albina climbing out of the quarry and reuniting with Labiana as well. So there's now 3 of you standing outside by the wagon. Now you notice the driver is not here, and nobody has come out to disturb you yet. And you can still hear the people walking up, at least one person and Carmen walking up the path. You can hear them because they're talking, chatting a little bit.
Can I chat with them?
It's just kind of normal. What are you doing down here? How did you walk through the woods like that? It's kind of dangerous out there. Did you see the fight? Last night. Did you see those bandits and what happened? We didn't see much. We just we're hunkering behind the gate, and we were wondering why they didn't keep up the attack. We heard a bunch of people showed up, and we heard some commotion, but don't know what happened to them after that.
Yeah. This hell of a night.
Yeah, so they kind of banter with you
Lovely,
and
isn't it?
chat all the way up. But you guys have a
that's going
chance to
on.
talk before he reaches you. So
Well, at this point, Labiana can be seen, like as you said before, getting her bearings and kind of slight puzzled look on her face by the change of scenery. Kind of looking at the wagon, looking at the gate, and kind of thinking, okay, so how did he manage to get us inside? And also noticing Albina clambering out of the quarry and looking puzzled at that as well.
As Abna sees Labiana, she's going to approach her. Remembering the last scene that she saw being Labiana carrying Hatshepsut's destroyed body away. Is Hatshepsut safe?
Labiana will give a nod and pats the crate to indicate that's where she currently is. Safe and sound for now.
We need to
I see
make a
you.
report.
I
Sorry.
see you survived the day. That's good to
I did.
see.
I did twice. She runs her tongue over her fangs, a bit taxing.
But at least it was safe. Labiana will kind of start looking around. I wonder where the others got to. At this point, she'll spot the people walking towards them with Carmen. She goes, there's one.
I try to hand wave, but I'm tired, so I can't. But you see the attempt.
Yeah.
Can I roll something to try to be friendly with them? Like, by the end of the road, we are kind of, a little bit more friendly towards each other, or something.
all right. So they reach. They get there. Nicodemus, you're still obfuscated. They say, "Have you? Do you vouch for him? Is he okay?"
Yeah. Yes.
All right.
He is one of ours.
You see them loosen up the rope and take it off of him. Like, okay, we have to go back, and they head back down to the gate. At this point,
See you guys later.
somebody comes out of the Ludus. Govan, would you like to describe this person coming out of the Ludus?
Sorry if I ramble a bit. I'm still piecing some things together. They're a relatively tall, athletic-looking dude. Decent sort of level of appearance. They appear, if you had to guess, from somewhere in like the far edges of Greece, like probably in the very eastern portion of Greece that they're from. If you had to get really more specific, they they're wearing some fairly sturdy like almost armorish looking clothes, not full armor, but basically clothes that look like they've been sorted up to be able to stand up in some sort of fight, with a blade at their side. Oh, hello there.
So, I'm just going to send Hatchet a message
Hello there,
here
General
as you guys
Kenobi.
talk.
So, is this his chipset? Volume 2 or something like that?
I'd wager a replacement character for these sessions until catch-ups is back in
All
the
right.
feed.
So,
Yeah.
this character, let me give you a quick rundown, was expecting some sort of arrival. Doesn't know exactly who was coming, but definitely fit the general look, description, clothing, language. That this character coming out to greet you is in quite well with the master of the house and has arranged for you guys to come in and at least get a little bit of sustenance and some safety and talk.
And after properly recognizing you, and say, my name is it's always Androtimos. Pleasure to make your acquaintances.
A pleasure to meet yours as well. I understand that you are going to be a contact within the Ludus.
I believe so. It certainly seems to be the case.
Are you aware of our condition?
Well, sorry, out of character. I'm a bit frazzled.
That's all right. The master of the house comes out and says, Androdimos, are these the ones you told me about?
Yes, sir.
Very well, very well. Please come in. I am Batatius. This is my Ludus, as it was my grandfather's Ludus before him. Valeronius has been a tremendous help in sourcing top quality gladiators for us and in getting them great contracts, and I look forward to continuing a profitable relationship with him. Come in. And he guides you in. Once inside, he says, and he starts, the servants go running. Obviously, this man is the master of the house. He starts giving orders, get refreshment here, get some water there, get these men and women some clean clothing for the sake of the gods. You can't have them walk into this house like this. They're filthy. Draw them a bath. And he says, I'm so sorry. Just with the stress and the tension, trying to stay up all night and defend our gates, we just never know when these attackers are coming back, and some hospitality has slipped. My deepest apologies.
It is quite alright.
Worry not about it. It is completely understandable.
I understand that there might be a return of these attackers in these future nights. We wish to find a way to arrange a permanent solution to defend your Ludus.
Well, as do we. We wish the attacks would stop permanently. We can't predict it. We always have to keep people down there, and our gladiators at the ready. It's been constant for the last 2 months. Some nights nobody comes. They'll come once a week, then the next week they'll be here 3 times, and then a week after that they're here every night, and then they're gone for 2 weeks. It's been an exhausting drain.
Do you know who are those people?
We do not. They claim to have a writ of legal document that they are legally allowed to force us out of this house. But my men in Capua say that there is no such thing that exists. And as well, my client, or my man, my business partner, Valeronius, in Rome, also has said that there is no legal record of someone buying this out from underneath me. So any arguments to the contrary are obviously a complete falsification.
Have any of your contacts in Capua heard about these men, these groups of soldiers? Were they referenced by anyone?
Well,
discussed about?
I'm not really an army guy, but I can tell you a disturbing rumor that I've heard. It's well known that there are pits in Capua where failed gladiators and men who just want to die are sent. In fact, I have 3 of them locked up now, which will be your sustenance should you choose to partake. I'm told by Androtimos that you will dispose of them more efficiently than letting them be cannon fodder or letting them be fodder for my training gladiators. So I will let you do that. But the supply has become quite lean over the last 2 years, maybe? He looks like he's thinking, yeah, 2 years, give or take a little bit. It's almost like somebody has been plucking them before they can be killed, or even before they reach the true gambling hall and removing them. Now, we had all thought that it was simply, someone else trying to establish themselves in the business, turning around failed gladiators or something. So we never gave it much thought. But the fact that we have men trained in gladiator tactics and Roman soldier tactics attacking the gate, these hit and runs, leads me to believe that there's out there somewhere in the mountains here, there's a couple of groups that are maybe putting together their own, what's the term I'm looking for here? Their own coup d'etat force, they want to overthrow the government force. Their own hand-picked mercenaries. I don't know what you want to say it, but that's the impression I'm coming up with.
Is it always the same darn group of men coming here?
Oh, I haven't personally seen them. Only what my men tell me.
Who do we speak to?
Oh, they've told me everything they can tell me. They are usually too busy, fighting for their lives to get good descriptions. There was they said a couple of times this female showed up, but it hasn't shown up lately. Another time this female showed up who was, according to them, one of the most attractive women they've ever seen. But she was only there once. Some bearded men showed up. A bearded old man was here once. Yeah, I'm sorry. They didn't really get good descriptions. I know that's kind of worthless.
Not necessarily. It's something.
I believe I might know a way that we can prepare an unpleasant surprise for them once they return.
Yes, we can prepare an ambush. Here's a question. Do you have trained men and equipment? I'm sure you do. This is a Ludi after all.
My gladiators are among the best. I would argue the very best in Capua. But I will not. I won't send my two best ones down there. It's mostly made up of the. I've got 15. Or I had 20, but 5 of them have died from the attacks. So they're
Well-
slowly wearing out my forces, and I don't have time to replace and retrain them.
I understand. The way I see it, this is going to keep on happening till they either succeed or they are wiped. While we are here, I'm considering that we could do an all-out attack. But before that, we can prepare a plan. We got the right skills to prepare an ambush, have some advantage before they attack. We can set them up. We set those traps. We can use your manpower. They
Well,
have
I'll tell you what.
so humans.
Before we go any further, let's establish something here. Do you speak for Valoronius when negotiating payment for this?
No.
Then perhaps Androtimos should send a pigeon, and we wait for an answer, because what you are proposing could wipe out my entire force and leave me defenseless while you leave. And nor can I afford to feed all of you for an extended period of time.
That would not be necessary.
Yeah, we might try to take advantage of the forest.
The offer is appreciated.
Well, okay, guys. Thanks for listening. I appreciate your time and your attention. Hope you enjoyed it all. I'm glad for those of you who have been following me for a while. I hope you keep coming back. So, what a great session. Things did almost spiral out of control. We almost had a character death. We had a nice conversation after the game about bad luck affecting NPCs, and the experience showing from a much older neonate, real-time strategizing against a younger neonate in a grip of frenzy. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed the tension, and I hope again to see you next time. Thank you. Have a great evening.